Yes.
Tuesday. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I feel like 1 week is probably a little far out. Because our agendas are legally required to be posted within 48 hours. How do you all feel about having a 48-hour notice to the board?
And our notice at the bottom, which does say 2 days prior.
Okay.
So we have a conflict there.
Okay. Delana's noting that our notice at the bottom of our agendas that we post is that it says 2 days before the meeting. So I think having some alignment there. Are you all good with the 48-hour notification?
Yeah.
Submitted, okay, so make a written request. I think that's fairly typical, just as in like an email, or how do we have a form?
I have not seen a form.
Do you want
But I
a
can
form?
get a form, 'cause
We could create a form.
What do you all think? Do we want to just a form, a template, Elena?
Madam Chair, when I sat in on some of the meetings just as an observer in prior years, I was indicated that I just had to notify the board clerk that I wish to attend, and then the board clerk a couple of times asked further clarification if I had anything that I wanted to present or share. But I am just wondering if something general like contacting the board clerk would suffice.
Okay. Yeah, I think it makes it more clear than just administrative office. Okay. I think number 4 on there is just a standard procedure. You just identify who you are, a single spokesperson. 3 minutes. Are we good with 3 minutes? 3 is, I think, a good, you can get a lot, okay, done or said in 3 minutes.
You want to combine the speakers if there's multiple speakers on one call.
Oh yeah, where is that one?
I don't think it's in here.
Okay. So on number 5, a single spokesperson must be selected by groups to address the board in order to avoid repetitious information. So do you think that covers it? Allison Newman was asking about if you have 5 people that want to speak on the same topic, that we kind of narrow that down. Let's see. I think limiting items directly tied to us. We don't want to hear complaints against personnel.
Right.
Yeah.
And we can, so we did, we are going to, not did yet, we are going to start looking at the Idaho School Board Associations, all their policies, and comparing them to what we have, so we can even look at their language that mirrors this to see if there's anything that we haven't considered.
Okay. Just kind of taking a look at the telecommunicates. This is how old it must be. I don't think we call it telecommunication devices anymore. So maybe we want to say via streaming or online or
Electronic.
there you go, electronic. Elena?
Madam Chair, noticing on the agenda that's posted, that footnote indicates if you wish to speak during the open forum, please contact us at, and it's a phone number. That is specifically where I think it would be nice to have consistency to say, please contact the board clerk no later than 2 days. So just ensuring that the agenda matches the policy and procedures that we're requesting.
Perfect. Yeah, okay. Good catch down there. We may just rework that section in the electronic section, because what Allison Duman has got us set up with, which is nice, so that we communicate with each other, but the public doesn't have the same link. And I think that that's what this is saying. They're just saying it in a lot of words. So we could probably pare that down to match what we're doing. Any other thoughts or considerations as we kind of bring you back something that you could take a look at? I don't even think we need that board decisions paragraph at the bottom because the open meeting laws already cover that. Oh yeah, look at this. It was adopted in 2013. That explains the telecommunication devices.
Last amended in.
These out of space devices that people might use. Oh, all right.
I'll bring that back.
Okay, perfect.
First
We'll,
reading
thank
next
you. Yeah, we'll bring something back as a first reading. So there'll still be opportunity to say, yeah, we didn't quite get there, or maybe we want to change something before we go into place. I will take us into number 5. I think the operations and the business of what we do evolves over time, and with different costs of different things. What worked at one time, sort of like this policy in 2013, may put us in a position to hinder some of the business that needs to take place. So I have an action item on here for discussion and consideration that we raise the administrator's spending limit to be more in line with what is actually happening, practices of other school boards. So that in the case of what are we saying is the limit?
What was it?
It was 50. 50, okay. For a minute, I doubted myself. I'm proposing that we establish a $50,000 spending limit for the executive director to be able to make decisions. I think that's in a reasonable amount, that some of those things that just need to take place in the course of a day to support students, or whatever some of those operations are, that we don't delay that decision point to come to the board if it's under that $50,000 mark. And we establish that. There's nothing in code that says it has to be this. And so we can talk about something, but using the example of the vehicle recently, that to me, that is something that really Paula and the homework that they did, they could have purchased that van, in my opinion, without having to wait a month to come and get approval to do that. So I'd love to hear other discussion or viewpoints. Or a motion to approve 50,000 as the limit. Elena?
So, Madam Chair, one of the things that comes to my mind is if there'd be any differentiation between new business, new contract, new materials versus things that are kind of more usual and customary being approved, or things that have more of an urgent timeline being able to be approved. And I ask this with interest of inquiry, not necessarily with an opinion.
I think anything that would be in the operations, whether it was the classroom or something that, well, I think anything related to the business of the school. And we see those financial reports, and so we would at the next month be able to see, okay, Paula bought I don't know, the school needed a $32,000 something. We know the funds were there. Then we do have an opportunity. She could explain it. We could ask questions. But again, I think just leaving that open, it is typical for directors and superintendents to have the ability up to a certain amount without coming to the board. Kathy?
Thank you, Madam Chair. One of the things, since we have a consent agenda on the financials, I'm wondering if there is a large expense that's been paid out up to that 50,000, would it be possible that the monthly statement that would show that would be pulled out of the consent. And so Delana could explain that to us because it might be something we miss.
That's a great add. We absolutely could do that. That could be a part of the motion that there's a spending limit, and when that is met, what is it now? Do you have, there isn't one? Okay.
There's anything.
Would we want to set the minimum of, you know, if it's 10,000 or I don't know, 5,000? We could set what that minimum is too.
So just a suggestion, if I may.
Yeah.
Like say on the summary, if there's anything, let's just say between that we spend not in the budget between, that wasn't budgeted item already, between 30 and 50,000. That I bring that attention to your attention on the summary page as an extra line item of something that was purchased outside of the budget. That was a large item.
Well, as the administrator of the school, they could send a quick email to the board saying this is something that we're going to purchase and this is the reason why. So you have that heads up as well. You know,
Okay.
just as a way to
That's
be
also an idea.
communicating, you know, communicating with everybody.
Pull it off the consent and or send an email. Elena?
Yeah, I think, Madam Chair, I would motion then that the executive director be given discretionary or ability to purchase up to $50,000. And if anything is, say, above, I don't know, $25,000, it would move the budget review from the consent agenda to a line item.
Okay. It might be valuable for us to, well, we'll have the motion, but now that I'm saying this out loud, we may actually want a policy on it. And that way, when we're all gone from here, it wasn't just a note in minutes somewhere. But the motion will get us, anyway, we can make the motion of what it is, and then let's bring back a policy that we then approve.
I know the policy is and works with the.
Okay.
for the IESDB.
Perfect.
We're just kind of
Okay.
looking for something to get us by until then.
Okay. Is there a second to the motion?
Madam Chair, I'll second.
Cindy? More discussion of the motion? Oh, sorry, Kathy, yes.
I lost my train of thought. I like the idea of a policy being written so everything is in alignment. I think that's a wonderful idea. I am more comfortable with that than just approving with a motion and passing. I have like questions such as how many times can that limit be reached within the school year? Is it a monthly limit? Is it a yearly limit? I just one of those things that I was thinking about. But I appreciate the motion and I'll be voting for it. But thanks for the idea about the policy. I'd really like to see that.
Why don't we let's bring something back that we could look at following this initial motion. And Delana was saying that they're also getting support and help on something like this with ISBA. So why don't we look to them to see what their best practices inform, and then we can decide. So it can come back next month as a first reading on a policy. All right, I'm seeing heads shake. So all in favor of the motion, please say aye and raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye, thank you. We are unanimous in favor. All right. Finally, in its debut of a second reading, we are here.
We are
On our staff communication. So Paula, do you want to
Yes, so.
take us through
Yeah,
that?
so we provided you with the your feedback. So we took what you gave us in the feedback and then we gave you a copy of a clean copy with the recommendations that you have made to us as a board. So this is related to how the staff are using their cell phones to protect the staff. We've had some past experiences where we weren't using best practice and communicating with students. So we wanted to get a policy in place to ensure that we were protecting our staff and our students. Beth?
A little more clarification. So we've got two docs. One of them says final. Does the one with blue line edits, is that just what feeds into the final document?
Yes.
That is correct. The
Comments.
blue line edits were the changes that you had all recommended in the previous times of looking at this, and then that says final is where I made the edits to it, so you see it.
Thank
clean.
you. Thank you.
And we did share this with Anne, and she went through it and made recommendations as well as our attorney.
Wonderful. I understand. Thank you.
I would accept a motion if we're ready to approve.
Madam Chair, I move that we approve this, the staff communication cell phone policy.
Thank you. Is there a second?
This is Beth. I have a second.
Thank you, Beth. Further discussion? Thanks to Paula and Delana for sticking with this one.
It was a learning curve.
All right.
Was it unanimous?
We haven't voted yet. But all in favor, please say aye and raise your hand.
I
We are unanimous in favor. Yay. This was one of those where it was the oops, it wasn't on the agenda, and then oops, it wasn't in our packet, and anyway, we got there. We are extremely legal on this one.
We're getting better at it.
Yes. All right, Paula.
Yes, I owe you all an email, and I do have some things lined out. I just haven't finished it. So I will do I will send you out an email with the most current things happening and things that are happening in the future. I do want to share that the play that we are participating in with Drum School District will start tomorrow and go through the weekend. So we're really excited about that. It's been a great partnership.
What is the play?
The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Oh,
Or down,
oh,
yes,
that's right. I
yes,
think you
and
told us that last
our
time.
one of our students is the lead, and then 3 other students are playing gargoyles. So it's
Oh,
been a
that's
really
fun.
great experience, and it has. I'll see if the link is still up. We did get some time on the news. They went to the high
Oh,
school
that's
and
fun.
did a story, so that was very fun. So I'll share that with you, and. I think everything else really I'll put into the email. If there are any questions or something that you have come across that I could answer, please let me know. We are, I am going to do a testimony tomorrow for the bill they're taking forward on the high cost fund. That's at 3 o'clock tomorrow. Jackie Hyatt asked me to come over and be there in person. I've been sending her emails and lots of information. I reached out to our outreach team and said, okay, give me some scenarios. And we were able to share some really good examples. I'll have a conversation today with Jenny Jensen from the Coeur d'Alene School District, and we'll present some data together from their program getting started, their DHH classroom program getting started, and what that looks like.
I might quickly explain that the bill Paula is referring to is something that we thought we had done last year, were it not for one senator that flipped his vote right at the very end. But it would allow the Department of Ed to reimburse districts and charters for the students who require extraordinary services. And clearly, our school would top that list. And as you all know, the federal government doesn't care if they sent you the money or if the state gave you enough money. And so in this case, it would again be a reimbursement where the state's the last dollar. So after you've accessed Medicaid, private insurance, and then the money that the state does send because you are educating their child, schools and charters would be able to apply for whatever is left at that point. And so we're hoping that in some of these cases that it will really take pressure off of an already tight budget when we're providing for, again, extraordinary needs. So thank you for being willing to testify. My side note on this is why we have to press for some of these things is beyond me, but we do. So we're gonna keep asking until they, I guess, lock the doors of the Capitol on me, which could happen.
And then we have two parents who are bringing forward, that are leading with Senator Galloway legislation for mandating newborn hearing screen. And that will be presented to the Senate on Thursday at 3. I'll testify at that as well, but I'll be online for that one. For the importance of newborn screening and why.
And I want to thank Paula for helping on that legislation. I got asked about it and my response was, let me ask Paula. And if she's okay with it, then we're going to be okay with it. So it's fantastic that we can be a part, Paula can be a part of developing legislation that actually works, because many times good intentions don't translate into good policy. And so in this case, I think you feel good about it.
Yeah, it's a good start. This would, if we could get it passed, this would get us started, and then we'll work alongside CDHH and a committee to make it a little more robust. It's going to come in line with some other newborn screenings that this a group would like to get passed. I can't tell you the other 6 screeners. I apologize. It would get us, yes, that newborn screening would be mandated, and then we need a more robust language because we need to be able to sustain Idaho Sound Beginnings. If the federal dollar should go away in the next couple of years, how do we sustain it and then keep going? So we would go back to the drawing board and make it a little more robust going forward for the next year.
Wonderful. You want to take us into the day on the Hill?
Well, the day on the Hill was a huge learning curve. Thank you. It was a great opportunity to go and learn, make connections with other superintendents, and met with several senators and representatives mostly to talk about the newborn hearing screen was, I guess, at the top of the list, but we were able to talk about other needs within IESDB. So it was a great opportunity.
Fantastic. And I saw Allison yesterday. Allison, I'd ask you to share as well.
Yeah, well, I guess I'd echo it. It was definitely a learning curve. I felt more of an observer at this point, to be able to be there and to kind of get some of that experience. And grateful to Paula and taking me under her wing a little bit as well. That was great. Yeah, it was definitely an experience that makes me want to do more and find out more and get better equipped.
Wonderful. I know that it's overwhelming. There's just the information coming at you like a tidal wave. Because of our membership in ISBA, there are professional learning opportunities for our board. And there are state dollars that allow for training. And so we don't get the training money? Oh, never mind.
We did look into it, unfortunately.
Dang it. Okay.
We're the same but different.
Yeah. All right. Well, maybe we'll work on that. But
We can figure something out.
nonetheless, the cost of the training, I mean, you're essentially paying for a person to come to you. So unlike other national places, they're not, charging you thousands upon thousands of dollars. So it may be something that we want to consider, or certain modules. I know there's a lot of information that's available, and we can share that with the board and see what we want to do with that.
But it was a great opportunity. So thank you for allowing me to go, supporting me going.
And they'll do it next year. And all board members are invited. It is something that it's not, if you can make it and want to come for the 2 days in February, it's not limited to only, 1 or 2 board members. We just posted that you're gonna be a day on the hill. And so many boards bring their whole board, some 1 or 2, it just kind of depends. So I put that out there to know you can come again, come for the first time, however you want to do it. All right, executive session. We do have an item to discuss related to hiring. And so we will need a motion. I don't know if anyone's got the agenda right in front of them to cite this exact code. Oh, you got
I
Delana?
did put it in their
Okay,
packet. so
nice. Thank you, Delana. So
everybody
we've
should
got
have
the
it.
wording. This is one of those where we need to be very specific on what we're saying, citing the code, and then we'll take a roll call vote.
So they need to open the executive session Zoom link. It's not the same, so they'll need to leave this meeting.
Okay,
Open the executive session Zoom link, and then when you come back.
go to this one. Okay, we're gonna give you instructions on links here in a second. Is there a motion to move into executive session? And I can read it. Oh, yeah, Beth or Kathy? Beth.
Go
Madam
Beth.
Chair, I would move that we move into executive session according to Idaho Code 74-2061A and B.
Thank you. Is there a second?
With that,
Looks like Elena. Yes. I heard Mandy, I saw Elena's hand and Kathy's hand, so you can pick. All right, with that, Delana, will you call the roll? This is where we need individual yes votes or
Allison,
no votes if you do, anyway.
Allison Steven,
yes.
Elena Stam,
Yes.
Stella's not here, Beth Ela Reeve,
Yes.
Kathy Crowley,
Ooh,
Kathy. Yes. you
Oh.
are.
I couldn't hear. It sounded like Allie. Yes.
Mandy Creamy,
Yes.
Superintendent Richfield.
And I'm a yes as well. All right. Did you call Cindy's name? Yeah, when I saw you down there, I was like, oh.
Sorry, Cindy, I didn't mark you on my second paper that you joined us. Cindy's the yes.
Perfect. Okay, Allison Duman, you want to give instructions?
So board members, you received two Zoom links for this meeting. You're in the open session link right now.
It was in the same email.
You'll need to leave this Zoom meeting and open the link with the executive session title. You'll be led into the executive session, and then when you're ready to come back into open session, you'll need to leave the executive session link and come back into this meeting. So this stream will stay open for the public, and you'll be able to come back in after the executive session.
Cindy, you look a little bit lost. It was in the same email from me, the 2 links in the same email.
Okay. Okay, so I can okay, yeah. All right, so I am going to physically change rooms to go to another computer. We'll be back in here when we're done.
Okay, thank you.
I don't think Paula, I don't think, are you coming into this one?
For the,
Are we
Are we-
coming back and then?
are we
going
gonna
to
come
B?
back and come back to B?
Do we have litigation? Was that in here as well?
Yeah, so B is the
Danielle, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
You went into the wrong link. You need to, there should be a link that says executive session.
I will go into that one. So sorry.
Oh, no problem. We just want to make sure you're in the right spot. They're waiting for you.
Thanks. Bye.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Just for the minutes, Delana, if you'll note that we came out of executive session or back into open session at 4:16 and no decisions were made. We do have an action item related to personnel. So I'm open for accepting motions related to our hiring process.
Madam Chair, this is Mandy. I move that we move forward with posting the position of Executive Director on March 1st and closing that on April 17th.
Thank you. Is there a second?
This is Beth. I second that.
Thank you. Any further discussion of the motion? Oh, Kathy?
Yeah, I'd like to amend the motion. I'm not sure the correct procedure, but the name of the position is administrator. If that's what I'm reading here.
Is the motion maker open to amending her motion?
Madam Chair, to Executive Administrator.
What is the exact title?
I think it's administrator.
It's
Administrator?
administrator.
Madam Chair, it is executive director in your, because that was confusing to me when I first joined. They serve as the administrator, but in the policy, I believe it is listed as executive director.
Oh,
Okay.
Madam Chair, I'm open to doing whatever you tell me at this point.
Would your motion be open to whatever that designation is? That's the thing that we will post. Okay.
Absolutely. Do I need to restate it?
No, I think we're good, Delana. You got us in there. All right. Is there a second to that? Or was there a second to that?
There was.
Okay. Beth, are you good to second the update to the motion?
I am.
Wonderful. Further discussion? All right. Hearing and seeing none, all in favor, please say aye and raise your hand.
Aye.
We are unanimous in favor. Thank you, everyone. That concludes our agenda. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Madam Chair, I would move to adjourn this meeting.
All right. Is there a second? Second by Elena. So moved. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you.
Thank you.